What is up, everybody? Welcome into the show. It's day 2, round 2 of the 2024 NBA Draft, and we're live right here on Philadelphia 76ers Now by Chat Sports on this wonderful Thursday, June 27th, 2024. Round 2 of the draft set to get underway in just a few moments from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Chase Sr., Jake Chipper here with you once again. We were live last night. Tremendous success here on the show. 11,000 people tuned in. We reacted to Philadelphia taking Duke guard Jared McCain at 16. And what will the Sixers do with the 41st overall pick here in the second round? Will they make a selection? Will they trade it away? And then, of course, we'll look ahead to some NBA free agency talk, because free agency does get underway on Sunday. Let's get the comment section going. We're coming to you live from the Chat Sports studios, but where are you? Shout out your city down in the comment section, and let's get it popping here. Bird Gang Tommy V, he's always a real one. Go Birds 21 saying, I'd grade the Sixers pick a B. We want Bronny from Kobe Bryant 24. Bird Gang Tommy is in Florida. I think Jared is similar to Mad Max from Heem the Dream. Michael Bradell, we need a wing player with size. I think they go wing or they go backup center if they do hold on to that pick. And at 41, I would trade up for Kyle Filipowski, as we talked about on the show earlier today, as we released our round 2 draft targets. Antoine Hill saying, Philly, go Steelers. Interesting. So go Steelers in Philadelphia. What do we have to do to convince you to become an Eagles fan? What do we have to do? Let us know. Bergang Tommy V saying, yes. Goodbye, James Bradbury already from Go Birds 21. I love how we're live on Sixers Now, but people, as they always are in Philadelphia, still trying to talk some Eagles. Let's go through the round 1 results and take a look at the players who went off the board for all 30 picks in the first round. Zachary Rissachet, the wing out of France, going with the number 1 overall pick to the Atlanta Hawks. And it was certainly a reach in my estimation. I just don't think that he's a number 1 caliber player. I get it. You're looking at the upside that he has, but I'm just not sure how much potential he has in this league. Alex Sarr went with the 2nd overall pick to the Washington Wizards, another big out of France. So 2 Frenchmen who go atop the draft. And the international leagues have certainly gotten better and better. And France has some really good teams. And then internationally on the international circuit, always a viable contender to win gold during the Olympics. Reed Shepherd, number 3 overall to the Houston Rockets. The memes of him being in Houston. Tremendous social media content last night. He shot more than 50% from the three-point line last year. Stephon Castle, the guard out of UConn, going to the San Antonio Spurs. Ron Holland, G League Ignite, Detroit Pistons with the 5th overall pick. Tejan Saloon, another Frenchman, to the Charlotte Hornets, 6 overall. So 3 Frenchmen in the first 6 picks. That's not the only Frenchman collective that went in round 1. Donovan Clingan, the big out of UConn, back-to-back natties to the Portland Trailblazers, 7th overall. The high-volume shooter and scorer, Rob Dillingham. He might be under 170 pounds, but he can fill it up in a hurry. The guard out of Kentucky to the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Spurs traded away that selection. Somewhat of a surprise to see Zach Edey go number 9. He goes top 10 player of the year in college basketball last year. The stamina for him being 300 pounds and 7'3", very impressive. Does the defense translate? That's going to be the big question for him. Cody Williams, the son of Jalen Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder, to the Utah Jazz at number 10. Modest Buzelis, who hails from Chicago, stays home with the Bulls. Nikola Topic, guard out of Serbia, partially torn ACL in the pre-draft process. OKC still makes him a lottery pick. Devin Carter, round 113, the guard out of Providence, to the Sacramento Kings, who just traded away Davion Mitchell, by the way, to the Toronto Raptors. Carlton Carrington, round 114, to the Wizards as they made another selection. Khalil Ware, the big out of Indiana, went to Oregon his freshman year. He's going to back up Bam Adebayo. Jared McCain getting some Steph Curry comps, 16th overall pick to Philadelphia, the guard out of Duke. I would have liked to have seen Philadelphia take Dalton Knecht. He is a ready-to-score, ready-to-play wing, and because of that, I think he gets steady rotation minutes with the Los Angeles Lakers. He went 17th overall, fell down some draft boards. Tristan Da Silva, Magic get a good shooter out of Colorado. Jacoby Walter, guard out of Baylor to the Toronto Raptors. Jalen Tyson, wing out of Cal to the Cavs at number 20. Vez Missy, as the Pelicans go big, he went to Baylor. Deron Holmes out of Dayton, a big who can play with or behind Nikola Jokic. Denver Nuggets, A.J. Johnson, number 23 to the Milwaukee Bucks, the guard out of New Zealand. Keyshawn George, wing out of Miami, to the Washington Wizards as they make 3 first-round picks here in the top 21. And then Pacone Dadier, he's going to be a draft and stash for the Knicks. Another Frenchman, Dylan Jones, wing out of Weber State. Can't really shoot, doesn't have much of an offensive game, but OKC likes him as a potential glue guy. Terrence Shannon Jr., guard out of Illinois, to the Timberwolves at number 27. The T-Wolves stockpiling some young offensive firepower with Shannon and Rob Dillingham. Ryan Dunn, round 1, 28, wing out of Virginia, to the Phoenix Suns. They made their first-round pick since 2020. And then Isaiah Collier to the Jazz, and Baylor Shireman out of Creighton to the Boston Celtics, rounding out the first round. To kick off round 2, we'll have the Toronto Raptors and the Utah Jazz at pick 31 and 32. We have 114 people watching live, and we just started the show. That is awesome. What do you think of the Jared McCain pick? I went back last night. I went back this morning on our draft grades video and then the selection of Jared McCain, and I looked to see what the people were saying. Chip, I would say it was pretty much a 50-50 split for the feedback from the fan base here on 76ers Now. Really up and down. Have your thoughts changed since the selection? Have you warmed up to it? Have you cooled? Where are you at right now, a day after the pick?
Yeah, I think I always liked the pick from the jump, and I don't think that's changed for me. You know, I really do think he's going to be a very impactful player, probably coming off the bench for the Sixers. And look, I like his offensive game. I know people are going to be a little concerned about the size next to Maxey, and Daryl Morey spoke on that and said, yes, it's certainly a concern to long-term have 2 smaller guards in the backcourt defensively, but Jared McCain is a little stockier. He has toughness in the defensive end. He plays very physical, so he can play a little bit bigger than his size. So I think those concerns might be a little overstated long-term. I'm sure he'll struggle as a rookie, you know, as most rookies will, right. But I just think the spacing he's going to provide for this offense and the spark on the court that he's going to be able to provide with his personality, I'm a big fan of the pick. When it comes to should they have taken Da Silva, should they have taken Dalton Knecht, I think all 3 of them would have been tremendous picks. So when they were up last night, I said I pretty much can't be mad if they take any one of these 3. They took McCain, who Daryl Morey said was top 10 on the Sixers draft board. Top 10. And they got him at 16. So they obviously have a plan for him, like the player a lot. I like what Bird Gang Tommy V says. He brings that energy. He brings that juice. And I think that sometimes what the Sixers, lacked in the playoffs was someone to really bring that extra edge, and it's a great personality for Philadelphia as well. So I'm a big fan of the pick, was last night, and I still am.
Again, this is such a popular talking point, but if you throw away and ignore the 2 million TikTok followers, the dancing and the painted nails, let's just approach it from this, right? Because people are talking about that today. It's impossible not to talk about. It is part of the conversation here. Do you want a player who John Shire, the head coach at Duke, said might be the hardest working player that this program has had? Do you want a player with high character? Do you want a player who cares? Do you want a player whose positivity off the court in those TikTok videos translates to him in the games? Do you want a player who has no fear and will pull up from anywhere and has limitless range? Going back to high school, he was known as a player who in the last couple of minutes always hit big shots and made big-time plays. And at Duke, after he struggled the first month, really turned it around and became Duke's best player toward the end of the year. Do you want a player who statistically alongside Steph Curry, have been two of the only players to do what they've done in college basketball, as we talked about last night. So game recognizes game, and I like the edge that he could bring Philadelphia. Him the dream, kind of echoing that in the comment section, saying, facts, Chip, we need this type of energy, and I think Philadelphia needs this type of energy. Now, there are a lot of people out there who share concerns about having McCain and Maxey on the floor as two small guards. I get it. And Daryl Morey even said that is justified. I also see Daryl Morey getting a lot of slack from people saying he's a terrible GM. Keep in mind, Daryl Morey brought us Tyrese Maxey. He did draft Isaiah Joe and Charles Bassey, who are thriving elsewhere. He has been able to shed some of the moves that were detrimental for this organization made by Brett Brown and Elton Brand. He's not the one that put this team in a spot where they had to overcome all of this. Now it's his opportunity to really put together this roster and put together this team as he sees fit. He got rid of the Al Horford contract. He got rid of the Danny Green contract and the injury. He's made some really solid moves, and if Jared McCain works out, this could end up being a hell of a pick at 16th overall. When I see a guy like Bill Simmons saying, Philadelphia knocked it out of the park. He watched him play in Los Angeles in high school and said that this kid is a bucket getter and a baller, and Bill Simmons is a diehard Celtics fan. That made me happy. Gracie also making a point, too, that we talked about a little bit earlier, Chip. When Nick Nurse won a title as a rookie head coach, by the way, with the Toronto Raptors, what was the backcourt? Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet. They are not tall players. So it can be done. And Nick Nurse probably said, Daryl, top 10 player on our board, take him. I won a title with two small guards. Now, you had Kawhi Leonard at the wing spot. You had some good size elsewhere. Marc Gasol was really good for that team. This team has Joel Embiid. You load up at that wing spot, and you could see a path in which Philadelphia can have a really good year this year and then years to come here in the future.
And we talked about it too. In the draft, what do? You draft for talent. And then you fill out your needs in free agency. Jared McCain, top 10 player for Philly, was on the board, the best player left on their board. You take the best player available.
That's it.
And then you fill out your needs in free agency. That's what free agency is for. Because those players in free agency are going to be more readily available to help your team anyways than a rookie. So why not take a player that you think can be the best player out of all the players left, regardless of what position they play? That's why I like the move. Van Reed, talking about Isaiah Joe. If he's so good, why isn't he still here? Well, that was a mistake.
He didn't make the team. They cut him. He goes to OKC, and he was getting pretty consistent playoff minutes, knocking down threes for the Oklahoma City Thunder, who were the number 1 seed on a loaded squad in the Western Conference. That was a mistake by Glenn Rivers and Daryl Morey for him to not make the club. Charles Bassey goes to the Spurs. He's ended up being a pretty solid player. He was a second-round pick. Isaiah Joe, a second-round pick. So here the Sixers are at 41 overall today. And I think that they can get a pretty solid player.
Got about 4 minutes left to go until the draft. The bosses did just tell us that since we're approaching the start of the draft, we got to hit a 50% like rate, or else we're not doing so hot here on the stream compared to some of our other ones. We got 160 people watching right now, only 37 likes. We need to get to 80 likes. And if we can get there in the next 2 minutes, they said I could crack my drink.
Let's go.
They don't want me drinking, but they said if we get there, I'm allowed to crack my first drink. So if we get to 80 likes here before the clock hits 2 minutes left, I'll crack my drink. And the bosses will be proud of us here. I'm proud of our fans. We'll show them. Because we haven't been live in the draft before. It's the first time. So we're trying to show them how we do in Philadelphia, baby.
Hit that thumbs up icon. Like the video. Make the bosses happy. Van Reed saying, that's what I mean. Morey could not see that we have a good player on the squad, and he let him walk. He drafted the player, though. Glenn Rivers probably had some say for who makes the team and who doesn't.
And
Greg Miller making a good point. Doc Rivers is the reason for Isaiah Joe's failure.
yeah, exactly.
Doc Rivers never played young players. He should have played Tyrese Maxey more year one, and he didn't. He doesn't have trust in young players. It's a joke.
And who's in there with them every day in practice? Morey isn't watching practice every single day, I imagine, every second of every practice. You know who is? Is Doc Rivers. Glenn Rivers. He doesn't, sorry. Gotta stop calling him Doc. His name is Glenn. By the way, speaking of Glenn Rivers, that clipped show, oh, it's atrocious.
Bad.
Atrocious.
Is that a show or a movie?
It's a show.
The acting that I saw was some of the worst acting I've ever seen.
And I saw something funny that somebody said too. It looks like they picked out the actors and they were like, all right, come film. None of them were like even remotely looked like they tried to get in shape for the show. They didn't look anything like NBA players at all. It looked like they just pulled people off the street and said, you're Steph Curry, you're Blake Griffin, you're Chris Paul. And I saw a funny scene too where I guess it's like after a game and like Chris Paul and Draymond Green are having a confrontation in the locker room after, and Chris Paul, the actor for Chris Paul, is saying all this crazy stuff. It's like, Chris Paul's never talking like this. He's never saying stuff like this.
No.
He was the head of the NBA Players Association. He's not out here talking like he was talking to the show. It's funny, man.
I think it's funny, too, how the players' names are on the back. If I was Chris Paul, I'd be like, I don't want my identity on the back of a jersey for this show. No chance.
No chance.
No chance.
We got to 80 likes.
Crack that drink.
Cracking the bev.
First super chat that we get, I will crack a drink too. I think I see one over there.
Yep.
I'll crack my drink for the first super chat that comes in. Hit that dollar icon. Send us a tip. We were here late last night, burning the midnight oil, and we're back live. Day 2 of the NBA draft here today. Here's our super chat menu. All super chats get a shout out. $5 will give you a beer. Cheers. $10 we'll talk about any prospect who you want to talk about. $20, Chip has to take a shot. $50 for a beer bong or a shotgun. Upcoming picks here in the draft. There are only 4 picks in this second round that have not been traded. How crazy is that? So a lot of these second round selections have been on the move. Angela G, we'll get to that super chat here in a second. Raptors get us started at 31 overall via Detroit. Jazz at number 32. Bucks at 33. Blazers with the 34th pick. Spurs holding on to the 35th overall selection. That's one of the few original picks here. Pacers after that. Pistons at 37. Knicks at 38. 39 through 46, you have the Grizzlies, Blazers, Philadelphia 76ers, Charlotte Hornets, Miami Heat with their own pick, Atlanta Hawks, Toronto Raptors, Los Angeles Clippers, Orlando Magic with their own selection, San Antonio Spurs, back-to-back selections for the Pacers, Knicks back on the board at 51, followed by the Thunder, T-Wolves, and Celtics. And then the last 8 picks of the draft, New York Knicks, Oklahoma City Thunder, Minnesota Timberwolves, Boston Celtics, Lakers, Suns, Grizzlies, Mavericks. Will Bronny James go in round 2, day 2 of the NBA draft? Will he get past the Lakers at 55 if he's not taken before that pick? I don't see how the Lakers pass on Bronny James. They're going to team Bronny James up with LeBron James, and that would be quite the story. Angela G! Everybody say some prayers for Angela G remaining positive during a difficult stretch. And she continues to be so wonderful to us. A $2 super chat. Chip, can you hand me that happy dad over there? Bad job by me. I didn't bring my own. But cheers to everybody. And Angela, thank you for the donation. That gets us started on the super chat flow. Cheers. And a couple of trades here today. Oh, I like this lemon lime. Wendell Moore traded from the T-Wolves to the Detroit Pistons. Then you had Davion Mitchell being traded from the Sacramento Kings, a former lottery pick, a national champion at Baylor. Reminded me a lot of like a Patrick Beverley, Kyle Lowry combo coming out of college. He's going to the Toronto Raptors after I thought he found his game last year with Sacramento and with Toronto. I think he's going to be able to get some more time and hopefully continue that development. I was very high on Davion Mitchell coming out of the draft when I was our key and main NBA draft analyst here at Chat Sports. And now that I've taken on more NFL duties, I don't do as much NBA, but still a lot. But I loved Davion Mitchell at the time. And then how about the Hawks? A couple of years after taking A.J. Griffin as a lottery pick, they're already trading him away. From Atlanta to the Rockets goes A.J. Griffin. And so 3 trades here today that involve players. And you already know, with the draft about to get underway, round 2, 2024 NBA draft, there are going to be more trades.
Oh, absolutely. And we can go through some of the players still available here in the second round, but real quick before we get there, some breaking news that is going to be pertinent to the Sixers here. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has officially declined his player option, so he's a free agent. And reports indicate the Magic and the Sixers, 2 teams that are going to be going after him. Apparently the Magic could offer KCP $50 million over 2 years.
Oh my God.
So if the Sixers want KCP, they're going to have to pay up.
I love what Mitch Beat said. Only Filipowski. Filipowski. We might have to make some shirts if the Sixers trade up or draft Kyle Filipowski, because Filipowski's kind of electric. Lion Fighter! $7.60 super chat for the 76ers. The real one, LFX. Dear Lord, can we please draft a big or a wing? Jason Chip, hashtag real ones. Real one, roll call. I will say, Filipowski, I will be elated. If the Sixers trade up for Filipowski or he falls to the Sixers, I will take my shirt off and wave it atop my head like a helicopter. I will be very, very excited. Classic ESPN 2, by the way, they reset their NBA draft clock at the top of the hour, so now it's 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Another one! Brendan is a first time super chatter. Sixers fans have been asking for dogs and winners, and we just drafted one. I don't know what all the negativity is about. It feels good to get another baller. And that's kind of the sentiment that Chip and I have. I think that fit matters. He fits. I think that culture matters. He adds to the culture. I think that a vivacious personality from Tyrese Maxey has brought the best out of Joel Embiid in moments where Joel Embiid in the past has been rattled by pressure. But now playing with Tyrese Maxey, tensions kind of ease. The feeling around the entire organization has been different because of Tyrese Maxey. People inside the Sixers brass have talked about that. So Jared McCain brings that type of personality to Philadelphia. As far as the on-court pairing of him and Maxey, I get it. 2 smaller guards, that is a concern when you go up against a wing-heavy team in the Boston Celtics or the New York Knicks. But you also can counter that with having Joel Embiid, and let's wait to see what the Sixers do at the wing spot when free agency gets underway. What if they sign a Paul George? What if they trade for Jimmy Butler, a Brandon Ingram, a Kevin Durant? What a splash that would be. Now, unfortunately, I'm not sure how many marquee superstars want to play in Philadelphia, or for Paul George if he wants to leave the West Coast. For me, Paul George is good with getting a bag and doesn't really care about winning. If you wanted to get a bag and cares about winning, Philadelphia is your destination. You get to play alongside Maxey and Embiid. You get to play for Nick Nurse. You get to play for a team that had to deal with a bunch of injuries last year, but still fought, clawed, played hard every single night, and had a chance to beat a New York Knicks team that I thought could have gone toe-to-toe with the Boston Celtics if they met up. But there's no doubt that the NBA has gotten deeper over the last couple of years. The West, multiple teams deep. The East, multiple teams deep. It's a big reason why we haven't seen a repeat champion since the Golden State Warriors.
It's hard to win, man.
Hard to win. Hard to win, and it's hard to repeat. Go Birds 21. Chase and Chip, I don't have a bank account yet for a super chat. It's all good, brother. You're here watching. You hit that thumbs up icon. You like the video. You subscribe to the channel. That's all we need, my man.
Yes, sir.
Brendan, here's a beer. Cheers for you, my dog.
Cheers.
We're already up to $15 in super chats.
Give a cheers for LFX as well. I don't think I ever did.
Oh, yeah, LFX. I was so excited that he was in the chat. All right, let's go to our best players available here for round 2. ESPN talking about Bronny James right now. I don't know how he gets past the Lakers at 55. The LeBron James influence within that organization is real. All right, our best players available here, according to our draft expert, Nick Roloff. Kyle Filipowski, the big out of Duke, my number 1 player for the Sixers going into day 2. Johnny Furphy, wing out of Kansas from Melbourne, Australia. Good night. Tyler Smith, wing from the G League level. Tyler Kolek, guard, Marquette. Kevin McCullough Jr., another Kansas Jayhawk, in addition to Johnny Furphy. Bobby Klintman, wing, Sweden. Nikola Jurisic, wing, Serbia. A.J. Mitchell, UC Santa Barbara, guard. Chip's favorite player of all time in the history of basketball, P.J. Hall, big out of Clemson. Jamal Sheed, guard, Houston. K.J. Simpson, guard out of Colorado. You had 2 Colorado Buffaloes go in the first round. Jonathan Mogbo, big out of San Francisco. Harrison Ingram, wing, North Carolina. Tristan Newton, guard, UConn. Trenton Flowers, wing from down under. And then Jalen Bridges, wing out of Baylor. We talked about 5 of those players on the earlier edition of Philadelphia 76ers Now. That video is up on the channel. You can go check that out right now, but don't leave the stream. Who do you want the Sixers to draft here during round 2? David Neal, why all of this Bronny James talk? Because he's LeBron's son, and ESPN is in bed with LeBron James, so they feel it's a necessity to talk about his son, Bronny James. I think that people are also interested and intrigued by the story of Bronny playing alongside his dad. I think that would be unique and cool to see. You don't oftentimes and very rarely do see a son and father play at the same time. Takes a lot for the dad to be in the league for a long time, for the son to make it to the league. I think that Bronny James personally should have went back to school, refined the craft, worked on the game. He barely did anything at USC last year. Did not look like an NBA player. At the NBA Scouting Combine, he's tiny. He's 6'1". It's the other James son who I think could end up being the better player, and he doesn't even like basketball as much, and that's the younger son of LeBron James. He's like, I think 6'5", 6'6". I forget his name. Bryce James. Bryce Young. Bronny James is about the same size as Bryce Young. Dark Armies. I want the Sixers to draft Tristan da Silva because he would be a great fit. So he's off the board. He went in round 1 last night to the Orlando Magic. Zetterberg said, we need James. David Neal said, draft a wing, please. Doobie Turner, Blake Hinson at 41. Go Birds 21 has a Tyrese Maxey jersey on. Bryson looks like a lottery pick. That's what I'm saying, David Neal. And he's a few years away from that.
Yeah, I was going to say, how old is he?
Bryce James.
Who's rocking some Sixers gear?
He's 17.
Okay, so he's not
Plays
that
for
far.
Sierra Canyon. So that's probably the class of 2025. Yeah, he's a 6'5" guard already.
Huh.
Bryce Maximus. Let's see. ESPN profile. He's a 3-star right now, class of 2025. Sierra Canyon. He has offers from Duquesne, where one of LeBron's best friends coaches, and then Ohio State.
No surprise there.
Yeah, no surprise.
DJ Hammer brings up some good points about Kyle Filipowski, and I do want to bring him up because, it's not all great. There's a reason he fell to the second round. Says, I'm not a fan of Filipowski. He'll get cooked if you play him at center. Unathletic with a negative wingspan, not a tremendous rebounder or defender. Big red flag. So, yeah, he does have a negative wingspan, which means his wingspan is actually shorter than his height, which is very, very uncommon, especially among these elite-level athletes. So, in turn, that definitely hurts him as a defender and as a rebounder. If you're drafting him, it's for his offensive game. Very versatile, can shoot the three, can put it on the deck a little bit, a good playmaker. But I agree, he's definitely not, the defender or the rebounder that I think some players that are going to go after him are. But when he gets drafted, I assume early in the second round, it's going to be for the offense. And so, I couldn't be mad at you if you told me that you'd rather go with more of a defensive rebounding-oriented center who doesn't really have an offensive game. But just being able to have that offensive versatility off the bench, man. When Embiid goes to the floor, you still have a center out there that obviously nowhere near that same level, but still have to worry about him on offense.
I'm looking at Bryce James's highlights. He has a pretty smooth stroke from deep. So he can knock down the three. I think the size is huge for him as compared to Bronny James. And I'm watching Bryce James. He's hitting threes from all around the perimeter. He's definitely not even close to being the explosive alien-like athlete that his dad was at St. Vincent St. Mary's. But I'm intrigued by the game. He has two more, or I guess one more now that this past season is over. One more high school basketball season for the 2024-2025 season.
Yeah, Gracie. Bronny averaged 4 points.
Yep.
But yet, he's gotten the most coverage of any player in this draft by ESPN. Ridiculous. All right, the
Gobert's
draft.
21. Yeah, Chip is an Eagles fan too. He's from right outside of Philadelphia.
Big Eagles fan. Go Birds.
Are we close to the draft starting?
It's supposed to start at 3:15, which is in approximately 15 seconds here. If you're finally ready for this second round to start, let's get the chat rolling.
Type go.
Let's get the chat rolling.
Type go. I wonder how many people know that the NBA draft is starting this early.
Yeah, probably not a lot.
Doobie Turner, Heem the Dream, Ryan Rowe, Nicholas Punchy, Dark Armies, Arvin Ross Garcia.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Lion Fighter. All typing go in the chat.
Come on.
Go in the chat. Mason. I wonder who the interesting player Daryl Morey was talking about that was offered for pick 16. I'm very curious about that as well.
Yeah.
Very
doubt
curious
that'll ever
about
come
that
out.
as well. He said, hey, we thought about it. We got that call, but Jared McCain was a top 10 player on our board, so we got him at 16. And I like the value of that. And a draft that is wide open. And Chip and I discussed this multiple times, that because there's not that clear-cut number one, I don't even like Reese Sachet going number one. But because the floor and the field is wide open for this draft class, you could get an excellent player, 16th compared to number one.
Where are they for the second round?
They're in New York City somewhere at ESPN Seaport Studios where they do like Get Up and stuff. They said, oh, fans want to come? Nope. And awkwardly, they just have a couple of prospects who are sitting at round tables in a small room.
It's like they're like a banquet. It reminds me of like my high school football banquet.
That's what it seems like. And the assistant commissioner, Mark Tatum, he always announces the picks for round two. and it's painfully awkward. Like he just said, and the draft is underway. And they just held a smile there. It's like, bro, the draft is underway. Let's go. So the Toronto Raptors on the clock. Last night there was 5 minutes between picks, even though I feel as though teams did not follow that. Today, 4 minutes between picks. So the Raptors on the clock, followed by the Utah Jazz, Milwaukee Bucks, Portland Trailblazers, and the San Antonio Spurs. Go Birds 21, Chase Chip, what happened to Trizzy? He's kind of just on air more, like I am, talking Saints, and then producing on the side. So he always wanted to be in front of the camera talent, and he can thank me for his entire development here at the company. Just kidding. If you're ready for the second round to start, type go. Type go.
Let's get it, baby. Round 2. Can we add an impact player today? I think there's options out there. I think you can. How does the board fall? Are there any trades made today?
There will be second rounders being traded, no doubt.
We've already seen a bunch of trades. While we're waiting here, some other news and notes to pass around along the NBA front. Eric Gordon declined his player option with the Phoenix Suns, so he's going to be a free agent, averaged 11 points on 37.8% shooting last season. Obviously very old at this point, but 11 points on 38% shooting. You'll take it. Speak of the devil! We were just talking bad about you, man.
Go Birds 21.
Get on here.
Here's your guy. Here's Trace. Here's Trace.
E-A-G-L-E-S
Eagles! There he is.
How y'all looking so far? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
247? That's fucking awesome.
Go Birds 21 saying, yo, Triz.
He's been asking for you the whole stream.
Andrew Nathan Eagles.
Hey, dude, this guy keeps asking for it. I was like,
B-Doc is back. Yeah, we got up to almost 800 yesterday. It was pretty good for the stream.
that's awesome. I love that.
Murphy Brown, Jesus Christ is Lord.
Good luck, fellas.
Angela G
Preach.
said, Murphy Brown, yes, he is and always will be. Bergang Tommy V saying Sixers. Sixers.
Let's get it, baby.
For those of you just joining us, yes, it's the first time that the NBA draft is a 2-day affair. Last night, round 1, today, round 2. I love how the NBA has decided to do this, yet they're announcing the picks in a small room, not allowing fans to attend the draft. The NFL gets it. The NBA does not. The NBA can't find a way to get out of its own way, whereas the NFL has become a powerhouse to the point where they basically dominate 10, 11 months of the calendar. Pick number 31 is in. And the Toronto Raptors are choosing.
Oh.
Building the anticipation.
Oh.
Jonathan Mogbo, the big out of San Francisco. Now, this is a unique player because he's a big who's a little bit smaller. 6'6" and a quarter, 217 pounds. But he plays with tremendous effort, tremendous hustle. He can handle the basketball off the glass and push the tempo offensively. While he is only 6'6" and a quarter, he has a massive wingspan, allowing him to thrive as a lob threat and a rebounder. Really good passer with a natural playmaking feel. Very undersized. Hasn't developed a three-point shot to really help space the floor, but with San Francisco in the WCC conference last year, 14 points per game and 10 rebounds. So his activity levels are always very, very high. 3.5 assists. I think that number could go up at the next level. And then he was able to connect very efficiently on 63.6% of his field goals. He can play down low. He can drive to the rack. He can climb the ladder and throw it down. He can defend. I think he can be a part of playoff rotation because of the athleticism and the defense. Has a little drive and kick ability as well. Little Euro in the lane, has that ability. Had 0 Division I offers coming out of high school, so he goes to San Francisco, and now he is the first selection of the second round of the 2024 NBA Draft. Andrew Nathan, not a Sixers fan, but how are you feeling about McCain? So we've talked about McCain a lot. This is a player who's very confident, has a really good personality. Culture matters in professional sports. And where we work, where you work, right? This is a player in McCain who has limitless range. He can hit a shot from anywhere. He can also hit his shot in a variety of ways. Dribble pull-up, coming off screens, off-ball mover, in transition, little step-back game. 41% from 3 is no joke. He struggled his first month at Duke. And then from there on out, he was Duke's best player. And what if I told you there are some Steph Curry comparisons here for Jared McCain? Let me pull up some numbers here. And in a draft that is wide open without a number 1 prospect, you can look at this draft as, okay, it's important for us as a team to come away from it in drafting a player with an elite skill set. He has an elite skill set, which is shooting. There have been 14 freshmen in NCAA history with a 550-plus true shooting percentage, 210-plus three-point attempts, and 150-plus rebounds. Among them, Steph Curry, Jamal Murray, Brandon Miller, D'Angelo Russell, Gary Trent Jr., O.J. Mayo, Brandon Knight, and Jared McCain. There have been 2 freshmen in NCAA history with a 611-plus true shooting percentage, 210-plus three-point attempts, and 150-plus rebounds, Jared McCain and Steph Curry.
It's pretty remarkable. That is pretty remarkable.
And you look at Steph Curry, he's the most selfless superstar of all time, in my opinion, at the NBA level. Willing to make sacrifices, cool, calm, and collected, good personality. You see some of those elements in Jared McCain. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be Steph Curry, but you do see some elements to his game.
We had the Jazz pick.
Utah Jazz pick is in. And with the 32nd overall pick, damn it, our guy, Kyle Filipowski, going to the Utah Jazz. We had a feeling, as we talked about this AM, that Filipowski was going to be one of the first players taken in this second round, and he goes to Utah. Sophomore this past year for Duke, 6'10", 3/4, 230 pounds, maybe a little bit of a limited athlete as far as him being explosive, but a very talented player offensively. He can really score at all 3 levels. I like how he can pull off spin moves, and he can pass from the high post, and he's a capable playmaker who can make the right reads. Does have those athletic limitations, which could impact his defensive ability at the next level. But the production, pretty impressive. 16.5 points per game last year, 8+ rebounds, a block and a half, and I think that he could continue to improve on the 3-point shot.
Kyle Filipowski, someone that we had in mind for the Sixers. Again, we said they were probably going to have to trade up if they were interested in the player. And now Filipowski is gone.
We can't make the Filipowski shirts, unfortunately.
So Jonathan Mogbo, Kyle Filipowski leaves the Bucks on the clock. Lucid, how would you feel about Paul George signing with the Sixers? I'm still all in.
Yeah,
I'm still all in.
I'm in on it. I think you need more star power, especially after seeing what the Knicks did, the Celtics winning the championship. Just imagine this. For a little bit more money, who would you rather have? Tobias Harris at the wing or Paul George at the wing? Think about that. Think about what the Sixers would have looked like with Paul George in a playoff series against the Knicks as compared to Tobias Harris. Do you become a better basketball team? The answer is yes, and that's the objective. On the clock right now, Milwaukee Bucks. Then it's Portland, San Antonio, Indiana, and Detroit.
B-Doc says, my friend was like, how'd you know who the Sixers picked before ESPN? I said, ESPN sucks. Come watch Chase and Chip.
Let's go.
We got you before them. He also says, draft PJ Hall. I love it. Get the Clemson connection. The Eagles already did it. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Will Shipley. They drafted Kayvon Wallace once upon a time. Daniel Borden, I'd rather have Lauri Markkanen. I agree. I think I would rather have Lauri, but at the same time, you're going to have to trade the farm to get him, and I don't think the Jazz would want to move him anyways, although it's weird because I don't see them, exiting this rebuild that they feel like they've been in for so long. Like yesterday they draft Isaiah Collier and Cody Williams, who are two players with great upside, but especially in Cody Williams' case, like very, very raw. So How long is Lauri Markkanen just going to sit there? Maybe he likes it in Utah. I don't know.
Anyone but Tobias Harris, do y'all agree? Brother, you already know. You already know I agree. The Bucks, 49-33 last year, lost to Indiana in the first round. Giannis, Dame, hurt. For whatever reason. Fired Adrian Griffin as their head coach. And then hired Glenn Rivers. Didn't get it at all. They were one of the best teams in the NBA with Griffin as their head coach. Very weird.
Very weird. And now they're looking to blow up the roster. We got almost 300 people in here. Can we get to 150 likes if we can before we reveal this next pick? Take a little chug of my drink here. We're at 120 likes, so 30 more. Get even more Sixers fans in here. And we're having a good time talking ball, man. You can't talk ball with ESPN. You can talk ball with us, though.
You can talk ball with us. Recent commenter club, Robert Jalio, Yo Nizzle, Go Birds, Gracie, B-Doc, Dow Jones, Lucid. Andrew Nathan, here's a question, chat. Why does the NBA only have 2 rounds? Wouldn't 3 be a better number? Limited roster sizes. I would say that's the answer.
Yeah.
It's not like the NFL where you have to fulfill 30 or 53 roster spots and you have 7 rounds with 32 teams. You also have 30 teams in the NBA and much smaller rosters of, what's the number, 12?
On an NBA roster,
Yeah.
you're saying? Yeah, I think it's 15, but you can only have 12, I believe, active.
12 active players and a 15 total.
Yeah.
But oftentimes those 13, 14, 15 guys are like G League players who go back and forth.
5 likes away from 150. Can we get there before we get this pick? We're 4 away. 4 away, and I'm chugging. Hit that thumbs up if you're having a good time. If you joined us last night, join us again today. Providing you with great coverage here, baby.
This is longer than 4 minutes, Milwaukee.
Come on. Oh, the pick is in.
Pick is in.
Pick is in.
We're also going to be talking about these picks well before ESPN does. That's what we did with every pick last night.
Hit 150 likes. Cheers.
Cheers, y'all. Cheers.
Every 50 likes we get, I'll drink. How about that? How about that deal? Pick is in for the Bucks.
Pick is in for Milwaukee, and it is another G League Ignite player, Tyler Smith. Another player who we talked about on 76ers Now earlier today. He's from Houston, Texas. 19 and a half years old, 6'9", 224. Really explosive finisher, whether in transition, on putbacks, or off alley-oops. Has a really smooth jump shot. He shot efficiently. With the G League Ignite, oftentimes players at the G League level do not shoot efficiently, especially from deep. And you're looking at a player in Tyler Smith who's a high-energy guy, but needs to give more effort on the boards and defense last year with the Ignite. Last season for the Ignite, by the way. 13.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, 47.5% from the field, and 36% from three. That all came in 22 minutes per night. So imagine if he was getting like 30. You know, could he be a 15 to 17 points per game guy with the G League Ignite last year? So I like this selection for Milwaukee. He certainly has some intriguing athletic traits. Who has been the biggest winner of the NBA draft so far? Who's it been?
DJ Hammer thinks Bobby Portis is 100% getting traded and Tyler Smith is his replacement. I just don't think Tyler Smith, saying that name is so funny. I don't think Tyler Smith.
Because our coworker's Tyler Smith.
Yeah, we have a coworker named Tyler Smith. It's very
I think
weird.
about it every single time. You know what I also meant to tell you? On our new NFL intros, when my face flashes up, I think that I'm on camera for a second.
Really?
Yeah. So when the swoosh goes around and I appear like twirling the ball in my hand, I'm like, and I think I'm going to have to start.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed
Because I just see myself flash up. I'm like, oh, that's me.
Yeah,
You know?
that's funny. What was I saying about Tyler Smith? I think he's too raw to like.
He can't see.
Yeah, he can't see for one. But why would
Our
the
Tyler
Bucks?
Smith.
Why would the Bucks, who are trying to contend, want to replace a good player in Bobby Portis with a player who's not ready yet in Tyler Smith?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Portland Trailblazers on the clock. 2.5 minutes to go until pick number 34. We have 58 picks in this draft. I think the Sixers got a pick taken away.
Sixers did have
for
their
the
pick
James
taken
Harden
away.
situation. What was that again?
No, I think it was for. Oh, it was.
It was
for-
tampering for something else, right?
Yeah. Let's see. It was for some free agent. Hold on.
As Peter Tosh once said, legalize it. Tampering should be illegal.
Yeah,
cares?
so the Sixers had their second round picks in 2023 and 2024 taken away as a result of
PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker and Daniel House.
2 players who are no longer on the team.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Classic Sixers. Yeah, Shane Butler said Daniel House and PJ Tucker. Robbie said Daniel House. Imagine tampering to get Daniel House.
Unreal.
Who, by the way, spells his name, Shane Butler and Robbie, U-E-L at the end.
Yeah, Daniel.
Daniel.
B-Talk.
Yeah, I'm wearing my nail polish right now, actually. That chip got me last night. He said, they drafted Jared McCain, let's celebrate. And I said, all right, let's wear some nail polish. Just kidding. Clean nails here.
No
But
polish.
for a $100 super chat, I will paint my nails.
Uh-oh.
If somebody sends in a $100 super chat, and you get to pick the color. Taco Seek Shots. I don't know if you saw my comment on yesterday's video, but the Sixers really need to re-sign Buddy, Kelly, Lowry, and Batum. They need to trade/sign players like Drummond, Eric Gordon, Bridges, KCP, and Bruce Brown. So I'm down. So does Jared McCain eliminate the possibility of Buddy Hield coming back?
Probably.
Probably. Or does he eliminate the possibility of a Lowry or Campaign coming back? I don't know how Buddy Hield would fit in. I also just think back to what Daryl Morey said after the year when he was like, yeah, Buddy Hield didn't fit in as well as we thought he was going to.
Yeah, I don't see Buddy Hield coming back.
If they didn't like the fit after the trade, why would they bring him back? Would make no sense. Now, Kelly Oubre, I'm down. If you want to address wing in that manner, I thought he played very well last year. Kyle Lowry, cool with it. Nick Batum, I like it. Andre Drummond in free agency as a backup big to Joel Embiid, give me that. Eric Gordon, old and washed, plus now you have McCain. Because Gordon is a smaller guard who can shoot. That's what McCain is, and he's much cheaper, I would imagine. Miles Bridges, I'm good. KCP, I'm intrigued. Bruce Brown, I saw how valuable he was for the Denver Nuggets. That's kind of a wing that could be intriguing. Trade alert!
Trade alert!
New York Knicks are receiving the 34th pick, and the Blazers are getting back 3 second-round picks. And the selection is in for the Knicks, right?
Let's see. The selection is in for the Knicks.
I like this pick for the Knicks. I did not like the Dottier pick last night. Draft and stash. I like Tyler Kolek, though. 6'1 and a quarter, 197 pounds. Lefty jumper. Has pick and roll ability. Really good passer out of that pick and roll. He really ran the offense for Marquette. Cerebral player who excels reading opposing defenses and opponents' leverages. Really good playmaker. He's very tough. He'll be able to run a second unit as the primary ball handler early in his career. Somewhat limited athletically. He'll struggle against size, but look, I know it's a white-on-white comp. I kind of look at him as like a TJ McConnell type of player who's left-handed. Cerebral, tough, can run that second unit. Can identify mismatches because the cerebralness, if that's a word, is high. 15 points per game, 7 rebounds. 1.5 steals, almost 39% from 3. That's a good pick for the Knicks. That roster is deep. That roster is very deep.
Yeah, Kolek was a player who had first-round buzz.
Yeah, he had some first-round buzz.
To get him here is good. I want to make sure I saw, who was it? Champ Burns says, I sent a super chat. Will it be read? Champ, I haven't seen one come in.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a super chat.
So
The super chats we got, Brendan, Lion Fighter, and Angela G.
yeah, double check if that went through on your end because it's not on our YouTube stream here.
Pick is in for the... I think we have another trade.
Another trade, possibly?
Shams tweeted that the Pacers are landing Johnny Furphy at 35, but the Spurs are on the clock. So did they swap?
Yeah, it looks like they just swapped. Yeah, so Furphy's the pick at 35, but it looks like this will be going to Indiana, which is a great pick for them. So is this going to Indiana is the question.
Johnny Furphy. So we think this is going to Indiana, right? Also, in NFL news, a federal judge has ordered the NFL to pay $4 billion in residential class damages and $96 million in commercial class damages to fans and bars, respectively, in the Sunday ticket case. That's a lot of money. Can you imagine that lowering the NFL salary cap? Yeah. All right, so Johnny Furphy is the pick at number 35 from Melbourne, Australia. G'day, mate. 19 and a half years old. Somewhat limited production at Kansas last year, but he definitely has some really good shooting range. A nice, clean, high release. Good catch and shoot. 9 points per game last year. Great form. Good motor. Almost 5 rebounds. Nearly 47% from the field. 35% from 3. Oh, Champ Burns. A $15 super chat. He said, Sixer fan here. What's good, Chip and Chase? Also, what do you think of a Maxey, KCP, Finney Smith, Markkanen, and Embiid lineup? Contender? Of course, we'd have to fill out the rest of the roster. Let's spend some time on that. Maxey, KCP, Dorian Finney-Smith, Lauri Markkanen, and Joel Embiid. I love that lineup. Then you have Jared McCain as a backup. Let's say you have Nick Batum as a backup big. You have Paul Reed probably again. Kelly Oubre as a backup wing. That's a good squad. Let's just look at it for the starting 5. Ball handler, creator, scorer, and Tyrese Maxey. 25 points per game right there. KCP, really good defender and can knock down the 3. He's won titles. Dorian Finney-Smith can guard multiple positions, can hit that corner 3. I think he's a really underrated championship level piece. Lauri Markkanen can give you 20 to 25 easy, and then Embiid, 30 points per game. I think that's a really good lineup right there, Champ Burns.
I mean, that's a championship-worthy starting lineup. Yeah. That is, you got the defense on the wings. I think
you challenged the Knicks and Celtics there.
I mean, you don't have a single weak link in this lineup, man. There's not a single player on this starting 5 where when it's down to crunch time, I wouldn't be okay with them taking a shot. I mean, that's a loaded team. You got everything. Shot creation. You got a really big lineup as well with Lauri, Finney-Smith, and Embiid in the front court.
So it does look like the Pacers and Spurs flip-flop selections, and the Pacers sent cash considerations to the Spurs to take Johnny Furphy at number 35, and then Juan Nunez is the pick for San Antonio. Started 4 games at the FIBA World Cup last summer. He's a guard out of Spain. Really good passer. Do we have scouting info on Juan Nunez?
Let's see. Juan Nunez here.
Pick and roll player. Very creative with the rock in his hands. We know that the Spurs love international players. .6'4", 206 pounds. 20 years old. We'll see if he's a drafting stash for San Antonio. He is on hand for the draft in New York. And we do have some scouting notes on Juan Nunez. That's going to be a fun name to talk about. Crafty lefty who can beat opponents with his handle, fakes and quick changes of direction. A sharp decision maker in running the offense. Kind of has a wonky form in shooting the ball that led to poor numbers. Unclear if he'll ever develop a consistent shot. But last year, playing overseas for Radio Farm, sounds like a Ratio Farm? Sounds like a band name. I play guitar for Ratio Farm. 10 points per game, almost 5 assists. Active defender, almost 2 steals. 47% from the deck. Ginobili light from Yonizel? I don't think so. Ginobili was a little bit taller and did not have any shooting concerns. I know some people will try to make that comparison because he's an international player, but Ginobili had that left-handed stroke, could hit threes, could hit the mid-range, was cash.
Left hand like Ginobili.
Denzel, it sounds like Rubio. That could be a little bit better because Rubio's offensive game was always a little bit limited.
Here's a cheers to Champ Burns, by the way, for that 15.
Go Birds 21. I love Devontae Smitty, but I don't like producer Smitty.
No, there's only one real Smitty. That's Devontae Smith, baby.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, shout out Champ Burns. Love that lineup he created there. If only it were that easy to do it in real life. Jose Calderon, Ricky Rubio. Just comparing him to all these other foreign point guards. Doobie Turner. Why do y'all like Dorian Finney-Smith so much? He is not that good. I would argue he is a very good fifth starter on a championship team. He's going to play defense. He's going to hit the corner three. Typical low maintenance 3-and-D player, man. That's the perfect fit for a fifth guy on your starting
Jose
five.
Calderon. What a name.
Yeah. So many trades have. This second round is already getting so confusing because almost every single pick is being traded.
Yeah, it sounds like that pick for the Knicks is not their pick.
So at 30, so we had Juan Nunez at 36. Now at 37, it was Minnesota's pick. They've traded it to Detroit, and we had Detroit's pick here.
Knicks to OKC? Oh, that's for 38.
Yeah, we had 37 here first. Traded from Minnesota to Detroit.
So Bobby Klintman to Detroit from Sweden, 21 years old, 6'8", 3/4, 212 pounds. Emotional, energetic defender who takes pride in his defensive matchup. Very solid catch-and-shoot player. His three-point shot has improved each year. Usually benefits off of others facilitating for him. 10 points per game, less than 5 boards, 43% from the deck, sub 34% from three-point range.
Okay, so now we will have...
The NBA draft is impossible to follow.
It's ridiculous. But that's what we're here for. We're helping y'all out. So we have OKC on the clock now, it looks like. So we've had a couple trades here. I'm not sure if we've gotten details on
Ridiculous
these
amount of
trades.
trades.
Yeah, so the Pistons and Timberwolves traded. We don't know the details yet on that. And now we know the Knicks and the Thunder have traded. The Knicks are just making deals. The Knicks and the Thunder also already traded in the first round. Now they're trading again here in the second round. So OKC also traded earlier, if I'm not mistaken. OKC traded for the 52nd pick earlier today from the Warriors for Lindy Waters. There was rumors that they were trading back in to then trade up again, and it looks like that's what they're doing right now with the Knicks. Robbie says I'm hype about Sam Decker. I wouldn't get hype about Sam Decker.
No.
Copper, I like the name Najee Marshall you bring up. Very underrated player. Would be a great free agent signing. Very good fifth starter. Similar things that I said about Dorian Finney-Smith, although Najee Marshall can play make a little bit. Can put on the deck, play defense. He's a little more versatile. Are there any good 3-and-D wings left in the draft, I assume you mean? Yeah, Jalen Bridges, I think would be a good wing there. Let's see, who else is still out here at the wing spot? Harrison Ingram from North Carolina shot 38.5% from three and is a very physical defender. 6'5" with a 7-foot wingspan. I would actually like that pick a lot because he's NBA ready.
Yeah.
He's 21 and 5 months. 12 points, 9 rebounds. Like, he's just not going to be able to put the ball on the floor.
Copper's talking about Najee Marshall.
Yeah, good plan,
signing him
man.
in free agency. He's from Atlantic City. Local guy.
Really?
Yeah, 26 years old. This is a guy who, if he figures out the three-point shot, he could be a problem. Good size at the wing spot. 6'7", 220. He went to Tacoma Academy in Tacoma Park, Washington, Eleanor Roosevelt in Maryland, and then Hargrave Military Academy in Virginia. So hopped around, only 26 years old. Three-point shot is really holding him back. He's gone 34.9, 20%, 30.3, but last year, 38.7%. So if that three-pointer can become a consistent element of his game on 2.3 attempts per night, high-level defense, he's kind of looked at analytically as a very solid wing.
All right, pick number 38 for the Thunder is in.
Pick number 38, A.J. Mitchell, UC Santa Barbara, a 22-year-old junior, guard, 6'3 and a quarter, 197 pounds. Mitchell is a fluid scorer, knows how to get to his spots. Really good shooter from deep, both off the dribble and the catch. Lacks elite athleticism, leading to struggles getting downhill and on defense. 20 points per game last year at UC Santa Barbara. Are they the Banana Slugs? I think that's their nickname. UC Santa Barbara mascot. Oh, the Gauchos. The Banana Slugs.
Banana Slugs.
That's UC Santa Cruz is the Banana
there we
Slugs.
go.
That would have been elite.
All right, so all of a sudden, Sixers are almost up here. We've got the Grizzlies on the clock at 39, Portland at 40, and then Philly at 41.
Yeah, Sixers pick quickly approaching here.
Quickly approaching.
I'm praying for Bronny from Lucid.
No. No. We're not allowed to say Bronny.
A lot of people want Blake Hinson.
Blake Hinson. Not even, how do you spell his name? Not even on our draft experts.
Who is Blake Hinson?
Big board.
Oh, from Pitt? 24. Played for Ole Miss and Pitt.
UDFA guy, maybe?
Yeah, looks like a UDFA guy. 6'7", 235. 18.5 points per game last year at Pitt with 4+ rebounds. Shot 45% from the field, 50% on his twos, and 42% from three.
Okay, so somehow we had on here that Portland was up at 40. But now Shams is saying that the Thunder sent 40 in cash to the Knicks for A.J. Mitchell. So I guess OKC had 40, not Portland. But now it's the Knicks going to be at 40? I don't even know. Some players that y'all want here. Lord DeVester, Filipowski still there? He's not. Kyle Filipowski's gone, was picked by the Jazz, so he's
Second
gone.
pick in the second round.
Sajad Justin Edwards is another player that was a very high recruit coming out of high school. I want to say he was top 5 going to Kentucky and was just very, very bad. Enters the draft anyways, and certainly high upside, but a lot to clean up. A lot to clean up. Let's see here. What were his numbers? So he's the 57th player on our big board here. 20.5 years old, 6'6", 6'10", wingspan, averaged 8.5 points, or 8.8 points, 3.4 rebounds, shot 36.5% from three, 48 from the line. Can score in bunches and take over a ball game for a stretch. Can drive to the rim. Quick release on his jumper, 80th percentile in catch and shoot. Not a good decision maker, though, in terms of shot selection. Very bad defender. Was often benched in meaningful situations. And not a good ball handler either. It's funny, Nick Roloff, our draft expert, compared him to a more athletic George Niang. Sixers fans will be familiar with George Niang.
Yeah,
that sounds
George
like a pretty
Niang.
good player to me, to be honest.
Dude, George Niang at Iowa State was a dog. I mean, he caused a lot of problems for teams across the Big 12. Now, we've certainly seen at the NBA level, he really struggles defensively. That's why he's never been a starter. But he's a good bench player who can knock down the triple.
All right, pick number 39 is in for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Jalen Wells, the pick at 39 to Memphis. A wing who played college ball at Washington State, 6'6.5", 206 pounds. This could be a sneaky good pick here for Memphis because Jalen Wells is one of the best wing shooters in the draft with the strong base, and he's got range for days. On top of being able to shoot, and he knocked down nearly 42% of his threes last year, good ball handler in the pick and roll, but not a player who's going to put any pressure on the rim. If you think kind of like a Trey Murphy type, but Trey Murphy is a little bit longer. 12.5 points per last year, 4.5 rebounds. A lot of his shots coming from three-point range because he struggles to pressure the rim. But look, if you can get players at the wing spot who can knock down threes, who have some size, you got to try to identify those players.
So we'll have the Knicks, I believe, will be up at 40.
Yep.
And then we will have the Sixers up at 41, assuming they keep the pick.
So the most recent, Jalen Wells to the Grizzlies at number 39. We can recap the second round so far. We got started with pick number 31, and it was Devin. No, who was it?
Mogbo.
Yeah, it was pick number 31 was Jonathan Mogbo. So here you'll see the final two picks of the first round, Isaiah Collier and Baylor Shireman. That's just how our graphic configures. And then the second round got underway with the Toronto Raptors taking Jonathan Mogbo, the big out of San Francisco. He could pass from the high post. He's a shorter big, but a really good athlete who plays with this physicality and can run the floor for a big, where he's got a really intriguing skill set. One of my favorite targets for Philadelphia, who I wouldn't have minded the Sixers trading up for, Kyle Filipowski. He goes to the Utah Jazz at 32. Is this a post-Lauri Markkanen plan for Utah, or at least they want to see what Filipowski can bring to the table? Tyler Smith, the wing out of the G League Ignite, going to the Milwaukee Bucks. Tyler Kolek to the New York Knicks at number 34. He's going to be able to run that second unit, I believe. Probably alongside a player like Deuce McBride, if the Knicks don't have to trade Deuce McBride away to fill the salary in that Bridges trade. Johnny Furphy, the Kansas wing out of Melbourne, to the Pacers at 35 as Indiana moved up, and then the Spurs traded back from 35 to 36. Cash considerations, the deal there. Juan Nunez is the guard from Spain who will go to San Antonio. Bobby Klintman to the Detroit Pistons. A.J. Mitchell, guard, UC Santa Barbara to OKC. And then Jalen Wells, the pick to Memphis at number 39. We just broke down that selection. Here is another trade alert here, and we finally have the details where the Thunder get pick number 38. The Knicks get pick number 40 in cash considerations, and then the Blazers receive 52. What exactly is a cash consideration? I will consider giving you this cash.
It's worded very weird. I don't know why they word it like that.
Go Birds 21. We'll see you, man. Have a good rest of your day. 421 people watching live, and the Philadelphia 76ers are on deck. The New York Knicks at bat. Charlotte Hornets in the hole, followed by Miami and Atlanta.
Let's see. We can take a quick look at some players that are still on the board here for the Sixers.
Phoenix's pick is in, as I think we're going to have another trade between Phoenix and New York.
Interesting. So here are some of the top available players.
Kevin McCullough Jr., Nikola Juricic, PJ Hall, Jamal Sheed, KJ Simpson, Harrison Ingram, Tristan Newton, Trenton Flowers. And the Suns are trading with the Knicks here for pick number 40. We'll see what those trade details are here momentarily. And Phoenix is taking Oso Ighodaro. I like the player here. He's an athletic center with serious hops and an excellent floater game. Really good touch around the rim in a very Isaiah Hartenstein type of manner where he throws up that little baby hook with some touch. A little bit undersized and limited as a rim protector, but he held his own in a switch-style defense. Definitely not going to be a floor spacer at the next level because he cannot shoot. What can he do well? He's a good athlete. Switches very well, as evidenced by the defensive scheme there at Marquette under Shaka Smart. He's also a very underrated passer for a big. He can throw the entry pass from the high post. He can hit some backdoor cutters from the high post. The Suns are trading the Knicks 51 and 56 per source. So now, the Philadelphia 76ers are on the clock. Here is that trade right here. Now, Woj is saying 51 and 56. But the Knicks already had 51. So we'll certainly see there. We've had a spike in audience. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Going to be reacting to the Sixers pick live. And hopefully they hold on to the selection here. Let's show them, who do you want the Sixers to draft? And let's show them the sub counter here. How many subscribers can we pick up by the time that Daryl Morey, Nick Nurse, and Philadelphia submit their pick? If you want year-round coverage of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sixers, that's informative, insightful, entertaining, thought-provoking, and involves you, because we chop it up like we're doing right now, then hit that sub button. 16,207 subscribers. How many can we pick up before the Sixers make this pick?
Cheers to all the new people that just tuned in. And let us know who you want to draft. B-Dog wants PJ Hall or Harrison Ingram. I like Harrison Ingram. All seriousness on PJ Hall. I think he's a good player, but I think it's a little bit early.
Yeah. And that's a Clemson guy saying that about a Clemson guy. Beth Curley subscribed. Appreciate that. Shane Butler, trade it for Brandon Ingram. I mean, shoot, if the Pelicans want to take 41 for Brandon Ingram, if we want to talk about value of the deal, then yes, I'm doing that. No doubt. So the Sixers on the clock, 2 minutes and 30 seconds until they have to make their pick. We can go best players available here. Best players available for Philadelphia. Here at pick number 41. You have a couple of different options that you could use at your disposal. Kevin McCullough Jr., a wing. Nikola Juricic, wing out of Serbia. PJ Hall, if you want to go big. Jamal Sheed, a guard. I'd be surprised if the Sixers went guard again. KJ Simpson, guard out of Colorado. Harrison Ingram, wing, North Carolina. Tristan Newton, if you want another winner in the building. Trenton Flowers, a wing out of Australia, but I think he's way too raw. Jalen Bridges, a wing out of Baylor who can really shoot the three. I would not hate that pick. Trey Alexander, guard out of Creighton. Keshad Johnson, the Arizona wing. Quentin Post, the BC big. Zion Pullen, Florida guard. Cam Christie, Minnesota guard. Enrique Freeman, the Arkansas big. And then Adem Bona, the big out of UCLA.
Moments away from this pick here for Philly. They have about a minute left on the clock.
A lot of people are saying, no guard, please, no guard.
They won't go guard again. There's no way. Could the Sixers trying to work a trade right now? Is that why they're taking so long? Some gamesmanship from Morey milking the clock.
What if Daryl Morey takes Bronny James and the Sixers now have three small guards on their roster?
Well, interesting about Bronny that I just saw, according to, this is actually from Ari, says, so Bob Myers said this actually. Ari tweeted it out. According to Bob Myers, Bronny James' agent, Rich Paul, is currently calling teams not named the Lakers or the Suns and saying, don't draft Bronny or else he's playing in Australia.
That's classic clutch sports tactics right there.
So
the word is that Rich Paul is calling teams not named the Lakers and saying, do not draft Bronny. If you do, he's playing in Australia this year. That's classic.
Oh, man, I like this pick a lot for Philly. I just saw it. I like this pick a lot for Philly, man.
The pick is in. The pick is in. And we'll react to it in further detail here coming up. Chip knows it. I don't. 522 people watching live. Let's find out together well before ESPN.
I like this pick. I think Sixers fans will like it too once
They got a big. The Sixers got a big.
Come on. The Sixers get a big.
Adem Bona, the big out of UCLA. Unreal athlete. 40-inch max vert, scary fast in a downhill setting. Finishes really well at the rim. He can throw down a lot of thunderous two-handed slams. He's certainly a lob threat. Blocks a ton of shots. Gets beat a lot on pump fakes and slight jabs because he's definitely raw. But he's able to recover quickly due to his speed and a long wingspan. Those are the pluses. The negatives. Only averaged 8 rebounds per game per 36. Not someone dominating the glass, which is surprising for someone who's so athletic. Not a confident jump shooter whatsoever. He took a couple of 18-footers, but doesn't look confident. Our pro comp is Montrezl Harrell. Now let's see what Kevin O'Connor had to say about Adem Bona, who also has Montrezl Harrell and Bismack Biyombo comps, saying he's a tireless player with the qualities to be an excellent rotation big-bodied defender. He's a hackable free throw shooter with limited touch away from the restricted area. Not a player who can be trusted to facilitate from the perimeter, whether in dribble handoff actions or in transition. So that's a little bit of a concern there. But the Sixers do get a big here. They get a big, and let's get the pronunciation down. I'm pretty sure I have it right.
I think this makes a lot of sense. Some people are saying this doesn't make sense and it's not a great pick. This makes a lot of sense because the Sixers need a guy here who can play defense, can hustle, can rebound, can be athletic and big. Paul Reed just wasn't big enough. and not quite the center you need. This makes a lot of sense. He can't shoot. I don't think he needs to be able to shoot.
Adem Bona. Adem Bona is what I'm hearing. Adem Bona.
7'4" wingspan, man. Athletic. I love this pick.
Adem Bona.
And a high motor guy, man. Again, these high motor, high energy players are guys that Philly fans are going to love.
Adem Bona. He can spin on the low block. Oh my gosh, he's got a crazy vert. Started playing basketball at the age of 13. Yep. Thank you. He grew up in Nigeria. He grew up playing soccer as a midfielder, but switched to basketball because of his height. Can you imagine this kid playing soccer? He often played basketball with makeshift hoops in field, sometimes without a ball. And at age 13, he moved to Turkey, leaving behind the rest of his family, and began his career with Istanbul Basket. 2019 made his professional debut. September 18th, it was announced that he would continue his career in Napa, California, and he was a consensus 5-star, averaging 15.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, 3.5 blocks, 2.5 assists per game. He was a 2022 McDonald's All-American. How about that story, man? That's incredible. So Philadelphia, after so much speculation about them trading their pick, they held on to 16, night 1, and then round 2, they hold on to their pick at 41. All right. Let's go in further detail on Adem Bona. It's coming up right now. Night 1 of the 2024 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers took Jared McCain, the guard out of Duke, with the 16th overall pick. They did not trade that selection. And in round 2, they held on to their pick once again. They got a guard in round 1, and a lot of Sixers fans were clamoring for Daryl Morey to draft a big. Philadelphia is going with the big with the 41st overall pick in Adem Bona out of UCLA. What a fascinating story for this player who is a freak athlete who threw down a bunch of thunderous slams last year. He was born in Nigeria. Didn't start playing basketball until he was 13 years old. He grew up playing soccer as a midfielder, but then switched to playing hoops because of his height. Oftentimes, he played basketball with makeshift hoops in fields, sometimes without a ball. And at age 13, Adem Bona moved to Turkey, leaving behind the rest of his family, and began his career with Istanbul Basket. In 2019, made his professional debut for Pınar Karşıyaka, and on September 18, 2020, he decided to move to America. And he went to prolific prep in Napa, California, became a 5-star recruit after averaging 15.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, 3.5 blocks, 2.5 assists per game, and he was named a 2022 McDonald's All-American. Committed to playing basketball at UCLA, so he stayed there in California over an offer from John Calipari and Kentucky. And this is a fascinating prospect to me because of the wingspan, because of the vertical jumping ability, and the player that he can become. He's a great athlete. He blocks a ton of shots and finishes really well around the rim. But despite the athletic profile, he surprisingly did not dominate the glass at UCLA. And you can't really expect him to be a jump shooter, at least right from the jump. Not confident in that shot. But when he goes toward the rim, he goes to the rim with a lot of momentum, with a lot of speed and physicality. I also think that he could be a really good lob threat at the NBA level. Here's a look at his numbers from last year at UCLA, 12.5 points per game, just under 6 rebounds, nearly 2 blocks per night. He was efficient in his opportunities, connecting on nearly 59% of his field goals. Here's what the Ringer's Kevin O'Connor had to say in his scouting breakdown of Adem Bona, big body defender with the hands and feet to thrive in any pick and roll scheme. He sets rock solid screens and rolls hard to the basket. Active help defender who explodes like a rocket for emphatic highlight reel blocks, shows a nose for crashing the offensive glass, and he's highly physical on the defensive boards. So he measured in the pre-draft process, and by the way, he's 21 years old, at 6'8", 243 pounds, with a 7'4" wingspan. He had a 40-inch max vertical and is scary fast going downhill. Finishes pretty well around the rim. The thunderous two-handed slams are what is going to lead to great highlight reels. He blocks a lot of shots. He does, because he's raw and doesn't have the greatest feel for the game, gets beat a ton on pump fakes and slight jabs, but he can recover quickly because of the athleticism, the explosiveness, and the wingspan. What's interesting is that rebounding that I talked about, he only averaged 8 rebounds per game per 36 and didn't really dominate the glass, and that's surprising because of the size. You would imagine at the college level, he's going to be able to dominate the glass, go up and get it, and then the other weakness, he took a couple of 18-footers but doesn't look confident in that shot. He's going to have to become a more confident shooter if he wants to add that to his game. The pro comps, kind of a Montrezl Harrell, Bismack Biyombo type of player. He has the qualities to be an excellent rotation big. What do the Sixers need? Behind Joel Embiid, an excellent rotation big. Another minus here, we know that the Sixers with Embiid like to run a lot of the dribble handoffs around the three-point arc. It just gives the shooter, like a Tyrese Maxey or hopefully soon a Jared McCain, that opportunity to get some free real estate to get that shot off. But Bona isn't a player who can be trusted to facilitate from the perimeter, whether in the DHO actions or in transition. You're going to have to use them specifically. Lob threat, block shots. We're going to give you 10 minutes per night. We want you to protect the rim, be a good athlete out there, block shots, lobs, dunks. We'll set up some actions for you going toward the hoop in which your momentum takes you to the basket, and you could throw down some hammers. Outside of that, there's going to need to be some seasoning here. And we reacted to this live chip on the stream, and you and I liked the selection. You knew the pick before me, and you said, oh, I really like this pick. My question is, why?
Yeah, so one of the reasons I like this pick when I initially saw it is because of the athleticism here. And once you get into the second round, it's really hard to find players that you can guarantee are going to come in and make an immediate impact and are definitely, a plus at certain aspects of the game. And for Adem Bona, I think the Sixers really dialed in on specific skill sets here with him. As you mentioned, it's the athleticism, the ability to block shots, throw down lobs. I think they see those athletic traits and they say, we have a player here who has some things that you just can't teach. You can't teach a 40-inch vertical.
Yep.
You can't teach motor. And I think that's one of the things Sixers fans, I'm seeing people in our live chat right now don't love the pick because they don't think he's very polished, not a very talented player. But this guy's going to give it his all. 110% the entire game, every play in and out. Some people say he has the best motor of any player in this entire draft, which I'll tell you what, Sixers fans are going to love. And again, you can't teach these athletic traits. You can teach rebounding. You can teach a player how to box out. You can teach a player how to position himself better to grab those rebounds. And, despite only being 6'8", again, he has that 7'4" wingspan, and he is athletic. So I think he can improve in the rebounding department. Is he ever going to be a player that, is going to have a plus offensive game? Probably not. But you need someone behind Joel Embiid who is going to muddy things up down low, protect the rim, because Paul Reed just wasn't big enough to be a true center protecting the rim. We are looking for an Andre Drummond type in free agency, and maybe they still go that route if they think Bona needs a little bit of time to develop and whatnot. But I like the pick, man. Still just 21 years old. Again, not going to space the floor, but I think his tools and his traitsiness is why Philly likes him, and it's why I like him as well.
Tools and traits. You brought that up. Let's talk about that next. I'm watching some of his highlights right now, in addition to some of the pre-draft scouting work that I was, of course, doing in order to be ready for this show. A couple of things I want to pass along. Adem Bona said he modeled his game after Giannis. You can see the wingspan, the long strides, how he runs the floor, chase down blocks. There were a couple of plays at UCLA in which he hit the defender with the jab, and the defender kind of overcommitted, and then Bona was able to blow right by him. He runs the floor so well, can block shots. He's that type of switchable defender that you want from a big. I think that there's room to grow offensively. I'm very intrigued that he modeled his game after Giannis. And then Kevin O'Connor, who we like here at Chat Sports, said, Bona will be the best backup in Joel Embiid's Sixers career. Pure energy and hustle, but Bona's versatility could also enable him to play with Embiid for two big lineups. Embiid can space on offense. Bona can handle perimeter matchups on defense. I'm intrigued by that. And not only can he run the floor well, he's big enough and has enough strength where down low in the low block, he is not going to get bullied. This isn't an athlete who is kind of light on his feet. He can also defensively guard along the perimeter, as KOC said, jar balls free, and with his ability to run on the open floor, I'm really excited about the athlete that he is and can become, and the skill set that you can build off of with Bona. So I want you to grade the pick, A, B, C, D, or F. At this point of the draft at 41, it's always about upside here. And Bona certainly has a lot of upside. So with that, let's shift our focus to what the Sixers did in the 2024 NBA draft. Jared McCain, round 1, 16 overall, the guard out of Duke. 41% on his threes, limitless range. He can pop the tray in a variety of ways. Dribble pull up, catch and shoot, step back, in transition. He's very comfortable shooting the ball, and that lack of size, he can make up for it with the crafty finish around the rim and with range. We see it with Tyrese Maxey. Sometimes he'll chuck from 32 to 35 feet. Sometimes he'll shoot the three from the logo. He does that sometimes because he has space. Because with the quickness that he has, defenders have to play off a little bit. Jared McCain is not that quick, but he does have that range and is a little bit shifty and very crafty with how he finishes around the rim. And he has an elite trait. That elite trait is hitting the three ball. And he got better and better and better as the season progressed at Duke. So you have a backcourt guy in Jared McCain who has an elite skill of shooting the three, and then Bona is an overall athlete who's a freak. Remember, Giannis wasn't drafted until late. Draymond Green, Nikola Jokic, they were drafted in the second round as well. These players, they can develop over time if you give them that time. So with the 76ers offseason profile here, key free agents, Tyrese Maxey, who'll get the max, Tobias Harris, Kyle Lowry, Buddy Hield, Nick Batum, Kelly Oubre. Does McCain eliminate the possibility of Buddy Hield coming back or the Sixers needing to find a shooter? He is a rookie. What can you expect from him right from the jump? We're not sure. Bona, is he going to be a guy who plays oftentimes at the G League level, or can he play right away? Athletically, he can hold up, but does that keep you away and alter your thinking that, okay, we were going to go after Andre Drummond, now we're not, and Bona is going to be much more affordable? We'll certainly see with free agency getting underway on Monday. You got Jared McCain, 16, Bona at 41. I like the value of both of these picks, and hopefully these two players can be a part of the Sixers rotation for a long, long time and help the Sixers get past that second round hurdle. Be sure to subscribe to us here on 76ers Now. We'll do draft grades coming out a little bit later here on this beautiful Thursday. Thanks for supporting the show, and we'll catch you next time. See ya. Super chat coming in from Jordan Thomas. Bruh, a 6'8 center, get out of here. Poverty franchise, take my money. So, look. Bona is a player who has a 7'4 wingspan, and he has a 40-inch max vert. So wingspan and vert makes up for the height, naturally. He can be a big who can play and defend all around the court. I think that's very valuable in today's positionless NBA. But Jordan Thomas, thank you so much for that European currency. Appreciate that. Euro? The Euro? Champ Burns, did we draft Fred VanVleet and Precious Achiuwa? I think we did. Both of these guys seem like Nick Nurse kind of guys. It's funny that you say that because Precious Achiuwa is also an undersized big who is also a really good athlete. He was also a 5-star McDonald's All-American. He was 6'8", 243. But he was selected 20th overall. And he was drafted by the Miami Heat, an organization that I do trust. As for Fred VanVleet, he, of course, was a legend at Wichita State. He went undrafted. So, Precious Achiuwa, first-rounder. Bona, second-rounder. Jared McCain, 16th overall. Fred VanVleet, undrafted. I can't believe he went undrafted. But Nick Nurse won a championship with two small guards, starting. Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet. Is he looking at that as a makeup? If they get the wing spot right. Maybe. Maybe.
If you want to go relive Chase's instant reaction to the Adem Bona pick, I'm putting that link in the chat right now. Go on there. You can see it. Throw us a like. And while you're at it, while you're over there on X, reliving that instant reaction, if you want to throw me and Chase a follow on X, on Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days. We are on X at Chase_Senior, at
Yes,
Jake
sir.
Chipper. So if you want to throw us a follow, every follower I pick up during this stream, I'll give you a little beer cheers, tweeting about the Sixers, tweeting when videos drop, all that and more, baby. Give you a shout out as well. All right, so that's the Sixers draft, assuming they don't trade back in.
Wait, so this is wild. We have some NBA draft drama. Kyle Filipowski's brother and mom are on X revealing how his girlfriend groomed him into Mormon culture and cut him off from his family, and now he ends up with the Utah Jazz.
What in the world? That is strange.
That's nuts.
Shout out to DJ Hammer. Just threw me that follow on Twitter. I'll give you a follow back.
DJ Hammer.
I'll give you a cheers as well. Same profile picture.
DJ Hammer. Shout out to you as well. Got the Pikachu profile pic.
Oh, and Angela just followed me on Instagram.
Angela.
Cheers, Angela. What a horrible draft for the Sixers from Abu. Gonna be interesting when we put out this grades video to see what people think. Shout out to Andrew Belton. NBA. Andrew Belton, if you're here in the chat, appreciate you. Throw you a little follow back there, my man. Looking clean in the profile picture. Got the nice suit on.
Yeah, I just listened to that Bob Myers clip It's true. He said, Rich Paul is calling teams saying, don't draft Bronny, otherwise he's going to Australia. That's wild. That's crazy, man.
Awesome. Shout out to you, Andrew. Real one right there.
And we just saw Max Christie's brother get taken. We can get caught up on some of the picks that happened as we were talking about Adem Bona.
Let's see. Cool. So we can start here with the Sixers pick and then go through what we missed.
Yeah, let's do it. So Adem Bona to the Sixers, 41st overall. Said he models his game after Giannis. Kevin O'Connor saying he could be the best backup that Joel Embiid has ever had in his Sixers career. KJ Simpson, guard out of Colorado, goes to the Charlotte Hornets, 42nd overall. Nikola Jurisic, the wing out of Serbia, to the Atlanta Hawks. Pelle Larsson, wing Arizona, to the Miami Heat, 44th pick. Jamal Sheed, good scoring guard out of Houston, to the Toronto Raptors. Cam Christie, the brother of Max Christie on the Lakers, to Minnesota at 46. And then Antonio Reeves, 47th overall, to the New Orleans Pelicans. So we have pick number 48 coming up. Only 58 picks in this draft.
This second round's kind of been flying a little bit. It's only been what? We were live for like 30-ish minutes, so it's been like an hour and a half. There's also been a lot of trades going on. Like, it's just so much to take in. So the Heat, so we saw the Suns trade with the Knicks. Then we had, and I can show this up for simplicity's sake, the Hawks traded up one pick with the Heat to take Nikola Jurisic. Heat traded down from 43 to 44, got cash considerations. We also had this trade where Pelicans acquire 47, who they just took Antonio Reeves from Kentucky. Magic get 2030 and 2031 pick swaps. I assume those are second round pick swaps. Obviously, they're not going to be first round swaps.
So it seems like this Filipowski story is real.
That's nuts.
So Kyle Filipowski's family members are on social media stating that he was groomed by his Mormon girlfriend and is no longer in contact with this family. Filipowski is 20 years old and his girlfriend is 28. She graduated from Alabama in 2018. They started dating when he was in high school. Filipowski was nervous in NBA draft interviews on the subject, and this could be the reason he fell to the second round.
No way.
Now he goes to the Jazz, where Mormon culture is a normality.
That's nuts.
Nuts.
That is just, if this is true, which it sounds like it is,
that's crazy.
Just insane.
Magic are trading number 47 to New Orleans, and then Antonio Reeves was that pick. Okay, we got that. This is what I'm talking about with the NBA draft. It's like impossible to keep track of.
It's difficult, man.
Imagine the people here at Chat Sports having to make these graphics.
Wait, did you mention this? I was doing something while you were talking about that whole situation. Did you mention that she's 26 and he's 20?
Yes.
That's insane.
She's 28.
Oh, she's 28? DJ Hammer said 26 in the
Wait,
chat.
hold on,
That's
let me
why I didn't hear you say
Yeah,
that.
she is 28. Graduated from Alabama in 2018. They started dating when he was in high school.
Right. Oh my God.
Man, I feel bad for the family. Their son gets drafted, second pick in the second round, and they don't talk to him.
Shout out to Josh Oswald. Josh Oswald, if you're in the chat, appreciate the follow on X. Give you a follow back, and I'll give you a cheers. And it's like, just kill my happy dad. So
Cheers.
we also, by the way, I wanted to bring this up. During yesterday's round 1 stream, we finished the day with $39 in super chats.
We
We're up
just
to
beat it.
41 right now, thanks to Champ Burns. Got us over the mileage there.
We
so.
just beat it. I'm
We
leaning against the
just
wall.
beat it.
My feet need a break.
Beat it. Beat it.
Just beat it. Just beat it.
Hey, I got some Fireball here that I haven't had any of yet. $20. You know what? Let me get a clock going. Let me get a clock going. For the next 5 minutes, I'll do $10 shots. And if someone sends in a 20, I'll do a beer bong.
If anybody sends in a $25 super chat, I will do a beer bong. $25 super chat, I'll do a beer bong. 5 minutes on the clock.
So you know what? 25, we'll both do a beer bong, and 10, I'll do shots.
Let's get it.
For 5 minutes on the clock. On the clock. Can we get to $100 today?
Kyle Filipowski. Champ Burns!
Oh, you know what? I said it and he sent it, so I got to do it because
gotta
I
do
did
it.
say 20,
You
and
gotta
then I
do it.
changed it up, and he probably already sent it, so I got to do it still.
Third ever super chat on a live stream. Champ Burns! Zay said, damn, begging for super chats? Hey, we're just trying to have fun. Live for hours, doing NBA draft coverage. We look at super chats as a tip, so thank you so much. Champ Burns, our super chat MVP.
Champ Burns, Champ Burns, Champ Burns.
I'll drink the rest of this for Champ.
All right, so I owe Champ Burns a little beer bong, so I got to go get that because I'm out of beer. Be right back.
If you give me a lemon lime. Yeah, get a couple lemon limes. I do like that one. Champ Burns! All right, the pick is in at number 48. Harrison Ingram is the selection. The North Carolina junior has some shades of Grant Williams. Seasoned playmaker, plays like a vet. Fluidity, velocity, accuracy in his passes. Stays patient, hits his teammates where they want the ball. He's excelled as a playmaker in different situations. Played his first 2 years at Stanford. Primarily used as a pick-and-roll ball handler at UNC. Became a playmaking hub out of the post and elbows for an NBA team. Could also be an on-ball screener, operates out of the short roll. Adem Bona, dude, he's a freak. Said he modeled his game after Giannis. And you see like some of the long strides there that he has. Yeah. KOC said he'll be the best backup center that Embiid has had as a Sixer. Yeah. Can guard out on the perimeter, throw down some lobs. Yeah, let's go. The minuses with Harrison Ingram. Struggles creating space off the dribble. Forces him into heavily contested shots, both from the mid-range at the rim. Only made 52.4% of his shots at the rim per synergy. Before the year, subpar shooter who never had a high percentage of his threes or free throws. Form is solid. Doesn't have a soft natural touch from the line or floater range. If his three-pointer, though, hits, he can be a solid player. Really? Oh, shit. He said he's a taller, thinner Zion? That's crazy. So let's see. Indiana Pacers on the clock here at 49. They also had the 50th pick, and then Knicks at 51.
All right, champ, I'm back.
Denver is trading Reggie Jackson to the Hornets for 3 unprotected second-round picks.
Interesting. There was reports that when Reggie Jackson opted back into his player option, that they'd try to trade him. He was actually pretty good last year.
Yeah, he was.
Reggie Jackson. Probably going to be waived. Could he be an option if the Sixers can't retain Kyle Lowry or Campaign, who Kyle Lowry is rumored to be going to the Knicks because of the Nova connection. I imagine he just stays home, but it's not like he played with any of those guys at Nova. Yeah, so luxury tax relief here for the Nuggets in that move.
Okay. That makes sense.
Why they move off him, but not sure. Why would the Hornets, though? They didn't get anything, so why would they just waive him and give up 3 first? You pretty much just gave away 3 second-round picks.
I will say that with Reggie Jackson, classic bad team player, who you give him 30 minutes per night, he'll give you 15, 20 points.
Yeah, maybe they just want another guy. They probably keep him.
Play with
actually.
LaMelo.
Yeah. All right. Got my beer bong here. Come on.
I mean, is it just a guarantee at this point that Bronny's going to the Lakers at 55?
I mean, if it's true that Rich Paul is calling teams and saying, if you draft him, he's going to Australia, like, why would you even deal with that?
Yeah.
Why would you even deal with that? All right. Got my happy dad.
If somebody else sends a 5, that'll be 25 total. I'll do my beer bong.
Uh-oh.
Or let me throw this out there. We're 39 away from $100 in Super Chats. If we get to 100 in 2 minutes, I'll do a beer boot. I'll do a beer boot.
That's 3 beers.
3 beers, 1 boot. If we get to 100, we're 39 away in 2 minutes. I'll do a beer boot. I'm going to a concert tonight, so we can start getting the juices flowing a little bit early.
Let's go. B-Doc says he just followed us on Twitter. Let me check here. Appreciate it. What's your Twitter handle? Are you Josh Oswald? I like this pick for the Pacers. Tristan Newton. Guard out of UConn and Tristan Newton, 44th player on our board. Older player, just turned 23. 15 points, 6.5 rebounds, 6 assists. That's good numbers, man. Only 32% from 3, 41% from the field, but he's a do-it-all type of guard, dog mentality.
a great rebounder at 6'3", grabbing 6.5 a game. Our draft expert Nicholas Roloff thinks that he's better than the 32% he shot from three because he had to bail out UConn a lot at the end of the shot clock with tough deep threes. A solid defender, not special but solid. Limited athletically. I like this pick for the Pacers. This to me screams a player who can play right away. Obviously a winning player as well. Eve Bailey, Bronny to the Wizards.
Bronny to the Wizards.
Well, the only other team I will say that could draft Bronny is the Suns. That's the only other team that Rich Paul is allowing to draft Bronny. So I'm pretty sure the draft order. Oh no, you know what? No, the Suns had 56, but they traded it. So yeah, it's just the Lakers now at 55, and if they don't take him, he's gonna go undrafted and probably just go to the Lakers anyways.
The Doggo Walker watching the show from Germany. Thanks for the show, guys. Go Sixers. Thanks for being here, brother.
Yes, sir. All right, let me do this beer bong.
First time super chatter.
Doggo Walker, love the profile picture. Look at that dog. Is that your dog?
He is a first time super chatter.
I don't see the follow, B-Doc. I didn't see it pop up.
Yeah, I didn't see the follow either, B-Doc.
Philly Rich thinks the players the Sixers got offered for 16 was Malcolm Brogdon. Very possible. All right, Chip. Let's do it. I got a little, they call us a Mirbonga. It's like a little mermaid, you see?
That is the Doggo Walker's dog.
Very cute. Oh, B-Doc was already following you, Chase. That makes sense.
Interesting. Got a feeling the player the Sixers were offered was Malcolm Brogdon, Philly Rich. Interesting. I'd rather have Jared McCain than Malcolm Brogdon. I know that Malcolm Brogdon is a known commodity, but he's also injured all the time.
Draft has really slowed down here.
It's brutal, man.
Really slowed down. Come on, we have like what? 9 picks?
It just simply is not 4 minutes between each pick.
No, this pick we've been waiting like 10 minutes for this pick.
Also, classic NBA, they have Golden State picking at number 52. It's not Golden State. They traded away the pick hours ago.
Ugh. Hey, but you know what? We still got 245 people hanging out with us, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. So he's in that 5, so you got to do your beer bong, right? Oh no, we said when we got to 100.
Did I say 5? I would do the beer bong. Yeah. I did say if it was a 25, I would do the beer bong. I also said if we got to 100, which the time passed, I would do the boot. All right, so I'll do the beer bong. I'll go get that right now. Did you do your bonga?
I'm doing
it
right now.
All right, do the bonga now, and then Chip will go on cam.
Here we go, baby. Shout out to Champ Burns, Doggo Walker, Jordan Thomas, everyone who's in the chat. Go Birds. Said, I'd like a drink on back, baby. It's for you, baby.
Enrique Freeman is the pick at number 50 out of Akron.
Oh. Oh.
Woo! 18.5 points per game last year, almost 13 rebounds. Ugly shot.
Ugh. Oh, that was his shot form?
Yeah. So will Bronny go here in the final several picks? All right, let me go get that beer bong for myself. I'll BRB.
Oh, B-Dog, let me check real quick. Maybe you were already following me. Let me look up your name. Brian. God, I can't type. Brian. DO1 68 101 78. Is that it? I'm not seeing it on Twitter. Brian DO 168 10178. Your name's not popping up for me when I look it up. Enrique Freeman. That's what it says in your page. That's so weird. I don't know. What's your name? Not your @ what's your name? Maybe I can find it that way. See, I can't find it. Cannot find it. All right, so Pacers back-to-back go Tristan Newton and then Enrique Freeman. So the Knicks now on the clock here at 51. Will Bronny get picked by the Lakers at 55? We will see. Shout out to all our subs, by the way. We entered draft, the first day of the draft yesterday. We had just hit 16,000 when the draft started. We're now over 16,200, so we've gained about 226 subs since the start of the draft. Tremendous. Love y'all. Shout out to all our subscribers, everybody tuning in with us over these past couple of days. It's really a blessing to be able to get to do this for y'all, and just love being able to talk to everybody, man. Is there a way to screenshot it to you? You could screenshot it and send it to me on Twitter. So if you look up my name on Twitter, you should be able to send me a message. Or if you just send me a message, I'll be able to see that I got a message from you. You don't have to screenshot. Just send me a message. Again, it's at Jake Chipper. No spaces. It's spelled the same way you see it right here, just no space in between. And if you just send me a message, it should work. Shams says his account keeps getting locked on Twitter. Maybe Twitter's having problems. It's possible Twitter's having problems right now. Shams says his account keeps getting locked. I guess he's trying to tweet too fast? I don't know. Okay, so the Knicks pick at 51 is on its way to Dallas. It is not the Knicks pick. It is the Mavericks pick, who previously had the 58th overall pick, which was the last pick of this draft, because 2 picks, including the Sixers' second-round pick, their original second-round pick, were taken away for tampering, of course. So now, Melvin Ajinca, shout out Alexis Ajinca, former Pelicans legend. Believe this pick is going to the Mavs. A wing out of St. Quentin. I can't say I've heard this name before. But again, this pick, they just said is going to the Mavs. Let me see if there's any. I don't think we have. Oh, no, you know what? Melvin Ajinsa, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say his name, was the last prospect, the number 60 overall prospect on our big board. 6'7", out of France, of course. 20 years old, 10 points, 3.5 rebounds, 39% from the field, 35 from three. Tough shot maker. A lefty with a pretty shot form, explosive first step. Quick dunks around the rim. 0 playmaking experience. Average 0.7 assists per game. He has a negative wingspan, so he's 6'7" and a 6'7" wingspan. Needs to improve his finishing around the rim when he can't slam it home. His comp is Kevin Knox, which is hilarious because Kevin Knox was what?
Trash.
He was what, the 8th? What pick was Kevin Knox?
He was top 10.
That just shows you how bad of a pick that was. 9th. Kevin Knox was a 9th overall pick back in 2018.
Not going to lie, when I saw him play in Las Vegas during the Summer League, I was like, wow, he's got shades of Jason Tatum. That brother stinks. All right, this one is for the Doggo Walker and Champ Burns.
Let me get you up there so they can see it.
Beer bongs for the legends. Copper said, thanks for the stream. Thanks for being here. All right, let's go.
Chug, 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 chug. Like it's nothing, baby. Like it's nothing.
It's not the Warriors' pick, NBA. It is Oklahoma City's pick.
Oh! But is it? According to Jake Fisher, after everything OKC did, it sounds like Golden State is reacquiring the number 52 pick from Portland.
What?
According to Jake Fisher.
Well, we can't trust him.
We can't trust him yet. This is a proposed trade. It went from Golden State to OKC to Portland. According to Jake Fisher, it's going back to Golden State. Brett Siegel tweeted out, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea who owns this pick anymore. And then Jake Fisher said he thinks it's Golden State. Don't take that for word, though, because Jake Fisher...
What is happening?
Nobody knows who owns this pick.
Shams also tweeted out, my account keeps getting locked.
Trace said it was Jake Fisher. All right, so nobody has any idea whose pick this is. Jake Fisher said it's going to Golden State. I don't believe that for a second. I'm going to be honest. But whoever made this selection, it's going to be Quentin Post.
Quentin Post.
For whatever team is making this selection.
All right, let's see. Let's see what Anthony Slater said. He's a good Warriors beat reporter. Let's see. He's got nothing.
Oh, no. Yeah, again, Brett Siegel literally said he has no idea who owns his pick. So, but it's Quentin Post out of Boston College. This is just ridiculous that nobody even knows. Nobody knows whose pick it was. And also, the pick before, we don't even know whose pick it was. Is Melvin Ajinsa a Maverick?
Like, what is the NBA
Is he a
doing,
Knick?
dude?
Like, what is going on?
What is the NBA doing?
And now, even more confusion. Cam Spencer, guard at a UConn, goes number 53. Is it Minnesota or Memphis?
None of this makes sense.
Because this is just ridiculous. Okay, so 53, Cam Spencer. The second round of the NBA draft is ridiculous.
It really is. I mean, every pick has pretty much been traded. So what the heck is going on?
See, no, okay, this doesn't make sense. Jake Fisher says the Warriors traded the number 52 pick for Lindy Waters.
Yes.
Then OKC traded it to Portland. And then he says Golden State bought it back a couple hours later.
But they can't
But
buy
they
it back.
can't buy it back because they're a second apron team. Shout out to Cooper Pott. Throw me a follow on X. B-Doc, I'm not sure. Maybe you need to update. I posted my page in Tat. I don't know what's going on, B-Doc. I don't know if something's wrong with X. Is your Twitter updated?
This is so confusing. You're all just as confused as we are.
So Cam Spencer, this is actually the Grizzlies here. So I guess the Celtics are on the clock. I have no idea. They couldn't have bought the pick back. Oh, this is ridiculous. Are we ever going to find out?
Dude. What is even happening? All I know is that we have 58 picks. Lakers are coming up at 55. Is this going to be Bronny?
Yeah, is Bronny getting drafted? So we have no idea if Quentin Post is a Warrior, if he's going to the Thunder. Is Melvin Ajinça going to the Mavericks? Like, gotta figure this out, man.
Yeah, we don't know if the Warriors actually had their pick at 52. Cam Spencer just went to Memphis at 53. The Celtics are on the clock here at 54. Then we have Lakers, Knicks, Minnesota, Dallas.
And that'll round out the draft.
Go Birds said, for real, Chase, what is happening? I'm not sure.
This is absurd. Could the Celtics take Bronny James and hold him hostage? Tim Legler says that the Celtics should draft Bronny James, hold him hostage, and demand Austin Reeves in return. Bronny James is actually ESPN's 6th best player available.
Shane Butler, what happened? What did I miss? A whole lot, man. I mean, pretty much every pick in this second round has been traded. And then some of the picks that have been made, we're not even sure if those picks are going to that team. Lakers are taking Bronny.
Oh, man.
Boston is selecting Anton Watson, and Bronny James is going to the Lakers.
Of course. There's Anton Watson. But Bronny James going to the Lakers, man. Oh my. Everyone spam Bronny in the chat. He got drafted. He's going to the Lakers. Spam Bronny in the chat. He actually got drafted. That's funny.
Dude. That is hilarious. I tweeted this out too. I said Bronny James to the Lakers was so obvious. It's actually hilarious. Like, it's funny how easy it was to predict that.
Yo, what's up, Copper? Appreciate the follow. Just followed you back on X. And shout out Game Time Brian, #1 Cowboy fan. Whoa!
I love to. I mean, it's a cool story. I'm not going to lie. Like, if I was LeBron playing with my son, would be incredible. I just don't think he's an NBA player. JJ Redick in the coach's polo and dad hat has me dead.
I didn't even recognize it.
Yeah, didn't even recognize him until I saw him look up and I saw his face.
Wow, Kevin McCullough's still available.
Yeah. Didn't he have that back injury in the NCAA tournament?
He did have an injury.
Yeah, I wonder if there was a little medical
And
red
Jalen
flag
Bridges
there.
still available? There could be some good UDFAs.
I also love how the NBA insiders were on this as soon as the Celtics made their pick.
Oh, they didn't give them any time to
Boston
breathe.
makes their selection, and Shams and Chris Haynes, seconds later, tweet out, and they definitely had it ready to rock.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Haynes had a Bronny James jersey mock.
It was Shams had the jersey. He had the jersey swap.
Oh, Shams, yeah.
That's so funny, dude. He had that scheduled ready to go.
I can't wait to see him play in the preseason.
Are you trying to tell me that LeBron didn't tell JJ Redick to draft his son?
Definitely did, dude.
You can't tell me he did.
Yeah.
Look at them clapping. Dude, the Lakers aren't real.
The Lakers are not real.
They're not real, dude. JJ Redick, Bronny James. What is going on? This is unreal. Allie's in the chat. The Lakers drafted Bronny, Allie. The Lakers drafted Bronny. Yeah, JJ Redick as a coach doesn't feel real. Allie, I'll give you a shot because you're in the chat. My girlfriend's in the chat. Spam Allie. Oh, shit.
Allie G.
Cheers! And congrats, Allie G, on passing your physics exam and officially going to be done with college.
How about it?
Yeah, Allie, we didn't draft Bronny. The Lakers just drafted him. Oh. God, fireball. It's disgusting. Where did the cat go? Look at Go Birds, Angela G showing love. Angela, appreciate the follow on the gram. Go Birds, a real one. Oh, B-Doc says he finally sent you a message and got yours?
Yeah, I tweeted him back. I said, B-Doc the legend.
What's his Twitter? I can't find him.
It is. Oh man, here I'll just send it to you.
Okay.
It's long.
Ronnie James last season, 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists.
Here, I'll just send you his profile.
Yeah, B-Doc, Chase is sending it to me right now, so.
There you go. Yeah, interesting story here for Bronny, man. I mean, had that health issue. Went into cardiac arrest during the summer workout, underwent a procedure to repair a heart defect.
Just followed you, B-Doc. Yeah, unbelievable. That was a workout. But we got it. Oh, God. Allie texts me, I'm in the casino.
Lit.
I love this, too. They draft Bronny James, and now are the Knicks not on the clock? What is going on? It's like the whole NBA draft just stopped for Bronny James. Now we have no idea what's going on after this. What's the Knicks pick? We don't know. They drafted Bronny.
Yeah,
Who
Phoenix,
cares?
Memphis, Dallas. Bob Myers said he thinks that Bronny can become a good player just down the road. He said you can't expect it to happen right away. I just think he's small. There's Kevin McCullough to the Phoenix Suns at 56.
Wow, what a pick for them. While they show Bronny James highlights. By the way, Chase, so Brett Siegel tweeting out, the Warriors have traded to reacquire their pick, but he says the Warriors sent cash to OKC to get this pick back. I thought they couldn't do that.
Yeah, I thought they couldn't do that. Woj is also saying how the Lakers G League team is in the same market. So if they had Bronny play at the G League level, you know, obviously LeBron could be there.
This is such extensive
Let's see
coverage.
what Jonathan Givony says. Defensive intensity. Got better with this perimeter shooting. Athleticism, 5-star recruit. (19 to 25 in the three-point shooting drill.
So as we said, Kevin McCullough. Great pick for the Knicks here, man. But this is going to the Suns, no? Or is this the Knicks?
Proposed trade.
And now the Memphis pick at 57. What is? Whatever. So Kevin McCullough is going to the Knicks. This is a great pick for the Knicks.
Is it? Is that the pick? It's going to the Knicks?
Yeah, that was the pick before this Memphis pick.
Okay, so not Phoenix and New York. All right, Knicks added 2 ready-to-play pros,
Yeah,
I think.
good draft for them. I think McCullough, he was a player I would have loved on the UDFA market. He was the number 29 overall player on our draft expert Nick Roloff's big board. 18 points and 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal and a half. 23 years old from Kansas. He compared him to a slightly smaller version of Tristan da Silva. Basically the same player, just 6'5" instead of 6'7", 6'8". An older prospect, not much room to grow. A lot of injuries during his final year. Smart player. Rebounds the ball for his size. Drastically improved his three-point shot. But it was a one-year thing, so was it a flash in the pan? Trying to check my Twitter notifications to see confirm if this pick is the Knicks. Yeah, this is the Knicks.
Do we? Okay.
So Kevin McCullough is going to the Knicks. And then pick 57 here, according to Woj, is going from Minnesota to Toronto. So this is correct what we have down here. So Toronto is on the clock at 57. ESPN says it's Memphis' pick with a proposed trade to Minnesota. It's going to...
Okay, got insight on the Warriors.
Okay.
They did trade cash to reacquire the 52nd pick, and they drafted Quentin Post. That officially hard caps the Warriors at the second apron. They are now unable to go over it this year, which was the plan regardless.
Okay, so they do draft Quentin Post.
And then, yeah, Anthony Slater said earlier, can be completed prior to July 1st about that trade. So wouldn't trigger any of the new hard cap rules. It's Golden State essentially deciding that Waters was better bargain option than anyone available at 52. Fringe move doesn't prevent them from other activity, but then they ended up taking a player at 52.
Strange. The NBA draft. So hard to follow these second round trades.
What is going on? We still have 2 picks left.
Raptors, Mavericks.
Ooh-ah.
Bless you.
Thank you. Shane, I saw what you said. I'm seeing it now, excuse me. This is disgusting. LeBron should get penalized because it's ruining the integrity of the game by forcing teams to pass up on Bronny. I mean, it's technically Rich Paul doing it, not LeBron. So, I mean, remember when Eli Manning's agent said Chargers do not draft him, otherwise he's not going? It's happened before. Thank you, Angela. Go Bird said, WTF is a Nick. So, Knicks is short for Knickerbocker. And that is also known as a New Yorker.
Dude, Chugs won't let this shirt thing rest. Why does he think it's pink?
What did he say?
He posted it on Twitter. Said, what color is his shirt? Every single response is either burgundy or maroon or some kind of dark red. Nobody has said it's pink. I don't know why he thinks it's pink. Every answer is maroon or burgundy. It's not even close to pink. I'm concerned he might be colorblind. Like, legitimately.
Finally, the Grizzlies are picking here.
So this pick is going to Toronto.
Ulrich Kamiki. What? Basketball Without Borders Africa Camp Defensive MVP. Ulrich Shumshi. You want to talk about a dude who's raw, man. So this pick, yeah, as Chip noted, traded to Toronto.
Was number 67 on our draft experts big board.
And then New York is taking Ariel Huckporty at number 58 for the final
this
pick.
last pick is going to New York?
That's what Woj said.
What is Bobby Marks talking about?
I don't know.
It's so confusing, man. Yeah, so this last pick is going to the Knicks.
And who was it? Ariel Huckporty, Melbourne United. G'day. All right, so the first ever two-day NBA draft is done. And that's it.
That's it. The draft is over.
Adem
Sixers
Bona
fans.
video is popping on the channel right now. We talked about that. 1,800 views in 45 minutes. Let's go. Cooking. And now we'll put together our NBA draft grades with myself and Chip. This was fun. Last 2 days, 58 total picks, 2 for Philadelphia. Jared McCain, round 1, pick 16. Adem Bona, round 2, pick number 41. Thanks to everybody who was here with us. First time we've done this here on 76ers now. Very much a success. 11,000 views yesterday, almost 6,000 views here today. Good stuff. All right, we're going to head out of here because we're going to put together our Sixers draft grades. For Chip, I'm Chase. For the 76ers Now family, thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you for watching, subscribing, supporting the show. Be on the lookout for more content. Free agency starting on Sunday, and we'll be live right here on the show. See you then. Peace.